All right, thanks for staying with us. You're watching Standpoint. We've been speaking on the Rivers State political crisis, the recent impeachment move against the governor, Siminalayi Fubara, by the State House of Assembly, which is the third attempt we've seen in the just very brief tenure of the governor. All right, let's bring in our guest. He's a lawyer, Evan Ufeli. He's been addressing some of these issues, which has happened previously and now. Thank you so much for staying with us. But I just wanted do you still want to land on the thought you were making, or do you want me to continue?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
All right, so the political dimension of this is also very, something I find very interesting as well, because when this issue first started, they were all in PDP, even though, there was this conversation about whether the lawmakers are defected. But now they're all majorly, at least the State House of Assembly, almost every one of them are now in APC. I want to just confirm, if just get your thoughts on that, because PDP did nothing about it, but now we're seeing APC sort of coming out to support Governor Fubara. But the lawmakers are a bit defiant. Do you think that just because of those who hold the political levers of power in Rivers State, perhaps there will be a political solution to this?
Well, there can be a political solution to it if Wike allows it. What Wike is saying is that the solution has already been signed, sealed, and delivered, and that the solution is the agreement that was reached when Fubara was, under serious tension. Okay, that those agreements, the agreement that must stand. Okay, that's exactly what Wike is saying. Wike is not calling for any political solution because to him, he believes that the matter has been settled and somebody is in breach or somebody is making an attempt to breach the agreement. Okay, he doesn't want Fubara back there. Okay, but you see, Wike's ambition cannot obscure the law. Okay, Wike's ambition not to allow Fubara to come back in second term cannot uproot the constitutional provision that said that the person, who is a governor can run for that term and an extra term. Okay? He has a right. It's a constitutional matter. And the constitution is supreme. We don't have supremacy of individuals in Nigeria or supremacy of persons over constitution. It's a constitution that supersedes any agreement reached between Fubara and Wike that he will do just one term. That agreement is inconsistent with the provision of this constitution. And the law is that the constitution shall prevail, and that other agreement or law will be to the extent of its inconsistency void. Okay? So Fubara will have to put up the war chest if he truly wants to contest again, because the APC, they are already with him. Okay? The secretary, national secretary, is already having issues with Wike on that basis. And then the APC, they are backing, because they are all now in APC. And then look at the contradiction. This same speaker and his members who claim, in court that they did not defect, to APC. All of them are now in APC. And they are still talking about the court. They don't have shame. You are talking about the court. You are making the court a jester. Because a few months away from today, you were in court to defend the fact that you did not defect. Today, you are in the middle of the defection. And then you are raising your hands and telling the court that Fubara is in contempt of court. Okay? On the basis of that. What kind of confusion? You see, when you are not thinking for yourself, this is how you appear. You appear incongruent, confused, and not knowing exactly where you're heading to. And that's exactly what the State House of Assembly is doing right now. Instead of them to partner with the governor, who is Fubara, and see how they can make the state better, they are trying to move things here and there.
I have about 30 seconds left. Apologies again. I just want to quickly ask this question. People have a right to be loyal to who they want to be loyal to. It depends on who has, supported and favored them, all along. But I also wanted to ask you about where this leaves the president. Here is a governor who is now a member of his party, and here is a man who also is a minister and has demonstrated, quite frankly, immense loyalty and support to the president. So where does this leave him?
well, it is much more beneficial to the president to work with Fubara than to work with Wike. Fubara is the sitting governor. During the election, Fubara will do more for the president than Wike would do. Okay? No matter how, because the governor in seat can, run Wike out of River State with the resources and the control. So it is in the interest of Wike to see how this can be resolved. Forget about the agreement he's talking about. See how they can fashion out new ways and new patterns to deal with the issue. The president has a prerogative to decide how he wants the issue, how he wants it to go, because he cannot throw away Fubara, who is a member of his own political party, and then lynch on to Wike, who is neither here nor there, not in PDP, not in APC. Okay, and because politics is about.
Well, he says he's still a member of the PDP. He hasn't left the PDP yet.
He hasn't left the PDP. He was suspended from the PDP. He was suspended. So, I mean, was it in the last convention?
Well, that's another matter. But his own faction has in turn also suspended those who suspended. Those issues, I think, are still playing out as they're playing out, whether in court or not. But I'm afraid, I wish I had, time to ask you more questions, because this is quite interesting, but I'm afraid we do have to leave it there. It's always a pleasure to have you join us and help us make sense of these issues, whether politically or legally. Thank you so much for your time, lawyer Evan Ufeli.
Very well. Yeah.
All right, that's our show for today. Remember, your views are the views of our resource persons and have no connection with TVC News. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, you can watch a repeat at 11 p.m. tonight and 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. I am Precious Amayu. Thanks for watching.